Hey, I'm used to it. I know this is a very unique
Mhm.
situation, so I'm patient.
It is. So
Yeah.
I got one of the guys that's been at Schwab longer than I have, and I've been here 24 years. So he's been
Okay.
here longer than me, like closer to 30. And
Yeah, this is almost a
he said the
unicorn.
main, yeah, it is because he's like, so I told him, I said, on Street Smart Edge, I've got a bid and ask. And he said, on Bloomberg, there's no bid and ask. And he said, it's not officially on the halted trade
Right.
list.
Right.
So I'm like, well, what's going on? He said, there's nobody wanting to buy the stock. And I'm like, he said, and then we went into the things on the 12th and what's going to happen. So, you're going to get shares in Nextbridge. We don't know what the shares are going to be valued at.
Okay.
Nobody's looking to buy shares of the MMTLP right now
So that's
because it could turn to zero and nobody wants to spend any money. He's like, it's like going from,
so
why spend
so I
money
guess
on
what I'm
something that
saying
ends
is
up at zero?
okay, so all right, I guess my next question would be did Charles Schwab take short positions on this stock?
Schwab, they don't normally do
They were
positions
they
like
were
that
sending out
anyway.
emails asking people to lend their shares to them.
Oh, they
So
were. So
they
that
were.
means that
So
somebody
that
else
means
would be
somebody was
sending them
shorting this
to.
stock, and this is my point. This is what I'm trying to get to. And I wanted to hear the reason, and that's what you're telling your investors. But due process in letting a stock trade, we are not given that due process right now. Like you guys are making an assumption that nobody wants to buy this stock, and the due process is until the 12th, according to FINRA law.
But
So,
so when
okay, go
when
ahead.
Schwab does stock lending, it's not something for Schwab, the corporation, to do short sales on. It's because somebody else is trying to short the stock.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, and I know you
Because
guys are broker. I know you guys will lend those shares, but what I'm saying is, you're telling me that the 5 years they shorted Torch, carried it over into MMAT, opened a ticker illegally to hedge funds with a CUSIP number because there was the word transferable in all the documents, one word. So unless this is like a big rug pull by someone that's trying to launch a metamaterial company that's the first one ever listed on the Nasdaq, I find it very hard to believe that nobody wants to buy this stock. If you know what I'm getting at,
I,
you know,
well, I'm not
like
saying it's Schwab, but I was surprised too. But why? And it seemed
so no, I'm not surprised
like
that
I just
nobody
have part
wants
of
to
the
buy
story,
this.
but
I'm surprised that you guys are telling me that there's not one single short share to buy to replace a synthetic share, and the simple fact that there's 165 million shares, but yet if you do the math just from this ticker, not from the other ones, there is no evidence that these synthetic shares were ever returned. And it's just a very ironic situation that the 2 days retail wasn't allowed to sell to close or buy, but people were allowed to sell to close, meaning retail could sell their positions to hedge funds that were looking to come up with these synthetic shares. You're trying to tell me that everything's gonna, and not only this, miss, and I know you were off, but the FINRA document had the eighth on it. Okay, the
yeah, he
four
said
two
there
four.
was
Listen. The 424B did not. Neither did the S1. The record date was the 12th. The distribution date was the 14th. FINRA put the eighth in there. Then they re-updated the eighth. Well, they re-updated their letter yesterday, midday at 3:11, that I saw live. And basically, what happened was they changed the word canceled to deleted after the OTC president went on a broadcast and said deleted as if he was warning people. And this might sound conspiracy, but I know this is kind of how it works. And then all of a sudden, FINRA changes the document, takes away the distribution date. So if you go look at yesterday's FINRA document on their daily updates, they updated MMTLP to exchanged and they took off the 14th. You know why? Probably because they can't come up with 165 million shares exactly. And they have to take a long time, a couple weeks, a month, to hunt them down because there's so many synthetic ones. So to sit here as a economics major, as a finance man, as a business owner, as a trader, day trade, to sit here and think and listen to the Charles Schwab answer to retail investors. Meanwhile, there's a Charles Schwab person sitting on the FINRA board in a meeting right now about this. I find it hard to believe that that's the sell you're trying to sell us retail investors, is that there's no liquidity to buy this stock. When most of us when we own the float, we own it. It was a dividend shared, given to shareholders as a placeholder, meaning the only shares that are out there are the ones we owned. And then when it got traded, somehow it kept getting shorted. But nobody was selling because we still own them all. Okay, you can say a couple retail got scared. They didn't know what it was when it came and they sold because they thought it was their dividend. But most of the people here have been here through the Torch merger to MMAT, through all the shorting that caused the CEO not to be able to drill on his land. So to sit here and say it's just not due process. And I guess my next question would be does the company take corporate action lawsuits on behalf of the shareholder, or is this something I should look into myself?
You would have to go the other pathway, but I do have something that just came through since we've been on the phone.
Okay.
Ready?
That's exciting.
So just
kind of, maybe not.
And it says, so now we have the official halt to trading. Update on Meta materials. Update, trading has been halted on MMTLP. We're not accepting any orders. Any opening or closing transactions on the security going forward. All open orders are being canceled. It says it is halted as of 12/9. FINRA has halted MMTLP due to an upcoming corporate action. Schwab and TD Ameritrade have made the determination to disable the security going forward. No orders will be accepted, even if FINRA does allow trading to resume. Please contact the company's investor relations web page for publicly known information on the distribution of the next breach common stock. So that just came through.
Yeah, that's how they did it. And I don't know how. So you guys are just going to delete a bunch of shares. So we're going into a class action lawsuit, I'd imagine, right? And now, do I have
deleted any shares? So at this point in time, it's just halted at Schwab because there's a reorg issue. And for more information on it, you would have to go over to this Meta materials.
Yeah, they're going to have to file a class action lawsuit against you guys.
And then you would have to go, it wouldn't be against Schwab, it would be against these people. But Schwab's decided not to allow trading on it anymore because there's something going on. But I think you said earlier when you said this is kind of a unicorn, and it is. It's very unusual. So
it's very unusual that two market makers came together and put this on an OTC ticker as a tradable preferred. How long have you worked at Schwab?
24 years.
Have you ever seen a preferred share placeholder dividend opened up for trading by not the company itself?
I would not. I didn't trade a lot of preferred stocks because I was an active trader, so I did more swing trading.
Okay, and I'm not saying I got into it. I got in this, for the metal materials and the spinoff, and the merger was a bonus, and then this spinoff was supposed to be a bonus, and honestly, the short squeeze was supposed to be a bonus. I can't believe this is going on where three banks just got high-profile news last week, and FINRA's literally doing all of these hedge funds a favor, and they're about to delete millions of synthetic shares that nobody's accounted for. If you actually go do the math yourself and go look into each day this was traded and look at the volume and just look at it, there is no possible way that 165 million shares are the only thing that's there, and that's why FINRA took the distribution date away. I'm convinced, is they can't figure it out. And I don't have a job at a big high firm, and I'm not, but I know how the game works, and I play the game, and it's just due process is just, that's it. The hedge funds synthetically trade this for free for a year and a half and make billions, and the one time retail gets to say, hey, here's your bill, you guys stop us all. I know I'm just venting, and I appreciate you listening, and I know it's nothing you can do, but It's just how can
I wish I
any
could.
investor after watching this, because I've never seen so many paid bashers on the forums. I've never seen so many attacks on a stock like through a campaign like that in my years of doing this. And the simple fact that they're going to be right, the simple fact that there's nothing I can do sitting here tells me as a consumer that it is okay, and a investor, for big businesses. Our economy runs off killing small business. That's where we're at in this day today. Like, this was a litmus test for the market, for all the traders, retail at least. You know, no wonder there's a recession coming, because retail is catching on to all the nefarious stuff. And I'm pulling all my money out as soon as I break even on my, what they took from me the last year. So I can't invest with you guys. I can't invest anymore in this market. It's insane what just happened. And I documented it all. I witnessed it all. I've recorded everything. It's truly appalling. It is. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I know there's nothing you can do from here, and that's it. It's the end of the story as we know it. So, all right.
I use that phrase too. I wish I had a better story.
No, me too. And I laugh because it's like, at this point, it's just cynicism. Like I said, I don't play squeezes. I don't believe, like, it's stupid to think banks would want squeezes to happen, right? Like, it's just stupid to think after AMC and GME and all the hype that a squeeze was ever going to happen without getting halted, without getting stopped, and that's all that's happened for 2 years. And here's one that was fundamentally set up, accounting set up, no possible way to get out of it for them. And they still did, and I only believed in the squeeze because of like the accounting that has to go down for this spinoff to happen. Does that make sense? Like, nowhere else in the market can you say the float's owned by all of the humans, the retail. But in this one, we do own it. It was given to us. It was never supposed to be traded. We weren't even supposed to sell it. It was supposed to just be money in our account. And never in the history have I seen it. And here we are, and it's like, it's just going to go under the basket, It's just going to get swept under the rug, and you guys are just telling people there's no market. That's what you're telling people. That's funny to me. Oh, what a day. What a day.
I hope you have a better afternoon and a better weekend.
No, it's all good. Like I said, the oil is going to be worth the money, but the fact that the class action lawsuit will probably not provide a perfect 165 million shares, then I don't even know when we can get that. So, and like I said, that's something that, the company will file on behalf of its investors, or is that like a personal, I don't know. I've never been here.
You'll get some kind of notification about a class action. Keep your eyes out on the news.
No, there's no doubt there's a class action lawsuit. I mean, this wasn't even supposed to trade. All right. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time today. Have a good weekend.
Bye. I can't believe this, dude. Yo. Oh, no. Yeah, Metamaterials is off the market, halted forever. It will cease to exist after today. She got the email as I was on the phone with her. It's done. We're done. We're going into Newbridge. It's over. Yeah, it's over. They're halting it. Yeah, because of corporate action. They're halting it. Yep. That's what the lady on the phone was really nice with me. She really had no idea what was going on. And she was just like, she heard me venting, and I was just like, I I explained it all. Hello, you still there?